Hello and welcome! We are finally getting into loops in this tutorial, particularly the for loops. Our learning intentions here are to first write a simple for loop that's going to repeat a print statement. So maybe we can say hello 10 times. Then things are going to get a bit interesting. We are going to ask a user for a number, take that input, and we're going to have to do some conversion. We'll actually run into an error first, and we'll take this user number and return a times table using something called a looping variable. So, for the math students out there, if you're very, very young, this could be handy. Let's start with the basic syntax of a for loop. We write the word for. I in range. And the range thing is strange because I can't really print it. So if we say 0, 10, what is happening right here is that this is a range of integers. Its numbers going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They stop at 9. In other words, 0, 10 basically means 10 numbers, 0, 100, that means 1,111 numbers. That's 111 numbers. So the idea is that you have a start and a finish, but the finish is not included in the range. So this means 10 times. Nothing else to it. This just means repeat 10 times. So what do we repeat 10 times? We repeat whatever is indented. So when I hit enter here, there's going to be something indented, and I can say print hello. And that's going to print 10 hellos. I mean, I don't really have to count it. There's 10 of them. So that is the most basic use of a for loop. In terms of writing it, it would also work if you did it this way. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of abbreviations when you start to learn programming, because the original way tends to give you more insight into what is actually going on. So next, we're going to write that program that asks for a number and then returns a times table. So we can use the new notation, num equals the input, enter a number, and we're going to have an issue here. A manual way to do this would be basically to say, hey, print num times 1, then num times 2, num times 3, and so on. Now we're going to use the loop to avoid it, but even though I do this, you're going to notice there's a funny little error. So we should be getting, like if we enter 5, we should be getting 5, 10, 15, 20. And look what's going to happen instead. This is really interesting. Enter number 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So what's going on is that this num here is a string, and it needs to be converted to an integer. So num equals the int num. So right here, it means that in the variable num, we're going to put a new value. We're going to put the value of whatever the user entered converted. This int converts tries to convert whatever is there to an integer. So this is going to work when I enter 5. But if I try to convert Bob into an integer, I think we can only get an error. So you can't really convert a string into an integer. You can only convert a number in string form into an integer. So now that we have successfully done that little conversion, maybe we can say print, here is your times table. And time for the interesting little demonstration on what this I is. So if I print for I in range 0, 10, print hello. If I print I instead, you're going to see something cool. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just like we were printing num times, 2, we can multiply num by I, and then we're going to have ourselves a times table. Obviously, this needs to be indented into a loop, and we can say for I in range. Now, we don't necessarily want to start at 0. We could start at 1, 1, 11. So start at 1, stop at 10, print that. That actually should be it. 7. There it is. So you can make first 100 multiples if you want. You can do 101. Run this and get the first 100 multiples of 11. These are kind of interesting because I think there's like 1 to 1. There's some kind of patterns in multiplications of 11. But anyway, there you have it. The times table works. And just to recap everything we've learned. The for loop is used to repeat an action a certain number of times. You may or may not want to use the looping variable. For example, right here, we print hello in both these instances 10 times. But if you choose to use the looping variable, this looping variable changes. It begins at this value, ends at one less than that value. And if we multiply it by some predestined number, then that effectively is a program that creates a times table. See you in the next tutorial. Hi there, my name is Sanjin. I am the creator of this channel here. If you're loving these videos, be sure to subscribe. That button's gonna be right there. And do the like thing, that's nice too. The playlist for this Python Fundamentals course is right here for you to access it. And on my other side should be a playlist of all my Python videos. So enjoy that and see you guys later.